You're cruising down Oregon's beautiful coastal Highway 101, when suddenly, wham! A container of live, writhing creatures explodes across the road, crashing into cars, turning the pavement into a living nightmare of slime, chaos, and eel guts. It wasn't a horror movie. It wasn't a prank. It was real, and the culprit, a creature so ancient, so bizarre, it hasn't evolved in over 300 million years. Meet the hagfish, also known as the slime eel, and the day they took over an American highway. Slime, teeth, highway carnage, this is not your average wildlife encounter. Welcome back to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, the wildest corner of YouTube where nature doesn't just amaze, it attacks. Every week we bring you the most shocking, savage and sometimes downright hilarious encounters between humans and the animal kingdom, from jungle ambushes to oceanic oddities, and today's story? Well, it's one for the slime-covered history books. Before we dive deeper into this slippery saga, do me a favor. If you're into crazy true stories like this one, where animals crash into our world in the weirdest, wildest ways, then hit that like button and help us spread the slime far and wide. Got questions? Got a better eel pun? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're new here, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss the next wild tale from nature's dark side. We've got shark attacks, crocodile standoffs, monkey ambushes, you name it. Share this with your fellow thrill seekers, animal lovers, or anyone who thinks roads are for cars, not slime monsters. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand how one of the weirdest creatures on Earth turned an Oregon highway into a scene straight out of Ghostbusters. Savage Tales, Animal Encounters where nature bites back. July 13th, 2017. A peaceful summer afternoon unfolds along the Oregon coast. The skies are calm. The waves crash gently in the distance, and Highway 101, the lifeline of the Pacific shoreline, is alive with everyday travelers making their way through the sleepy town of Depot Bay. Locals sip coffee, tourists snap photos of the ocean, and no one suspects that within minutes this serene scene will descend into absolute madness. Rolling north along the highway is a commercial transport vehicle, a Mitsubishi flatbed truck, its engine humming with purpose. Behind the wheel is 59-year-old Salvatore Tregale, an experienced driver hauling a highly unusual, highly perishable cargo, 13 large containers packed to the brim with nearly 7,500 pounds of live hagfish, also known by their far more ominous nickname, slime eels. Their destination? South Korea, where these wriggling, jawless wonders are considered a delicacy. Since the early 2000s, overfishing in Korean waters had driven demand abroad, and Oregon's cold coastal currents offered the perfect environment to supply the international appetite for these primitive, slippery creatures. But these weren't your average eels. Hagfish are evolutionary relics, unchanged for over 300 million years. They rely on an ancient alien defense mechanism. When stressed, a single hagfish can unleash gallons of sticky, fibrous slime in a matter of seconds. Slime strong enough to choke predators, tough enough to be studied for military-grade materials, and gross enough to make even the most hardened marine biologist gag. Back in Depot Bay, traffic along Highway 101 begins to slow. A construction zone looms ahead. Orange cones line the road. A flagger with the Oregon Department of Transportation steps out, signaling approaching vehicles to stop. Up ahead, traffic halts, but Salvatore's truck, heavy with living cargo, already jostled by the winding curves of the coastal road, is still rolling. He presses the brakes. The truck doesn't stop. The weight shifts, the straps groan. One container slides, then another, and then everything changes. In the blink of an eye, a calm coastal drive turned into a slime-covered disaster zone. It began with a violent shift of momentum. The weight of nearly 4 tons of writhing, squirming hagfish, packed tightly into open-topped containers, suddenly surged forward as the truck decelerated too late. The strain was too much. One massive container broke free, lifted off the bed of the truck like a grotesque missile, and launched across the highway, spinning through the air like a slow-motion nightmare. Southbound traffic didn't stand a chance. The airborne container slammed directly into a 2017 Nissan sedan, driven by 64-year-old Kim Randall of Arizona. The impact crushed the roof, smashed the windshield and instantly unleashed hundreds of panicked hagfish, right onto the car, across the hood, through broken windows and over the surrounding asphalt. But the chaos was far from over. The impact set off a chain reaction. 3 more vehicles, unable to swerve or stop in time, collided in a tangle of crumpled metal and glass. Meanwhile, the remaining containers, still strapped to the Mitsubishi, ripped loose, crashing down onto the pavement, spilling thousands of live eels across all lanes of traffic. And that's when things got really messy. The hagfish, now fully panicked, did what hagfish do best. They slimed. When threatened, each of these alien-like creatures can instantly release jets of thick, fibrous mucus, expanding in water to become a near-solid, gelatinous goo. And with thousands of them flailing in stress and fear, the entire highway transformed into a biological horror show. A living, breathing, pulsing mass of slime, bodies and tangled entrails. Eyewitnesses reported the road looked like it had been hit by a slime tsunami. Cars were completely coated in goo. Clothing was ruined the moment it touched the slime. The air reeked of salt, fish and something ancient and decaying. One Oregon State Police trooper stood in the center of the chaos, boots submerged in muck as eels squirmed at his feet. In a tweet later that day, the department posted a photo of him looking helplessly at the mess, captioning it, "What do we even tell the dry cleaner?" Meanwhile, crews from the Depot Bay Fire Department and the Department of Transportation scrambled to contain the disaster. Fire hoses blasted the pavement. A small bulldozer was brought in to push the pile of eels and slime off the road and down an embankment. Hazmat-style cleanup began immediately, but even with hours of effort, the slime just wouldn't go away. It clung to tires, headlights, shoes, anything it touched. It was like Spider-Man's webbing crossed with a jellyfish, as one marine biologist later described it. Incredibly, despite the sheer madness of the event, no one was seriously injured. Minor scrapes and bruises were reported, but the only lasting wounds? Emotional, psychological, perhaps even spiritual. For the drivers involved, it was a scene they'd never forget. For local authorities, it became the stuff of legend. And for the rest of us, watching online as images of slime-coated cars and eel-slicked roads went viral, well, it was equal parts horrifying and hilarious. But make no mistake, what happened on Highway 101 that day wasn't a freak accident. It was a full-blown slime eel siege. Nature didn't just cross into our world, it slimed it. The aftermath was a logistical nightmare. Insurance claims skyrocketed as drivers sought compensation for the damage. Local businesses were affected as the cleanup extended into the following days, causing traffic delays and detours. Environmentalists raised concerns about the impact of the slime on the local ecosystem. The Department of Environmental Quality was called in to assess the situation, ensuring that the slime and eels were safely removed without causing further harm to the environment. The incident also sparked a debate about the transportation of live animals. New regulations were proposed to ensure that such a disaster would never happen again. Stricter guidelines for securing cargo and transporting live animals were put in place, aiming to prevent future slime-related chaos. Despite the chaos and the mess, the event brought the community together. Volunteers from nearby towns joined the cleanup efforts, showing resilience and solidarity in the face of an unprecedented disaster. The Highway 101 slime incident will be remembered not just for the bizarre and chaotic scene it created, but also for the way it highlighted the unpredictability of nature and the importance of preparedness. It served as a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected events can bring out the best in people. So the next time you see an eel, remember the day they took over Highway 101. It's a story that will be told for generations. A testament to the slimy, slippery and sometimes surreal world we live in.
And there you have it, one of the weirdest traffic incidents in American history, starring a creature that looks like it time-traveled from the Paleozoic era just to ruin someone's commute. Hagfish may be ancient, eyeless and boneless, but they sure know how to make an unforgettable entrance. If you enjoyed that slimy saga, do me a huge favour, slam that like button. It helps us reach more wild-hearted viewers like you who live for nature's strangest moments. Got questions about hagfish? Have you ever witnessed a weird animal encounter firsthand? Or maybe you just want to vent about being emotionally traumatized by fish goo. Either way, drop it in the comments below. I read everyone, and I love hearing your savage takes. And hey, this is just the beginning. If you love stories where animals flip the script and remind us who's really in charge, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss another episode. From shark ambushes and jungle standoffs to birds stealing entire picnics, we've got a wild ride ahead, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks so much for watching, supporting and getting weird with us today. You could have watched a cat video, but you chose slime eels, and for that, I salute you. This is Savage Tales Animal Encounters, where nature bites back.